Hello and welcome to the semi-finals here of Grand Prix Vienna. Just 4 players left vying for the title. One of them on the very far right that you can see, that's Jeremy Dezani, winner of Pro Tour Theros, playing the same deck that more or less that he did at that Pro Tour. He's up against Robin Dolar playing Esper, but we're going to be starting off with the other match, which is Marcin Staciwa up against Niklas Kaltenböck. And part of the reason for this is that Kaltenböck is playing a very interesting deck, one we've not really seen on camera a whole lot up to this point. It's white weenie with a little splash of red. I'm actually just going to read off to you his deck list because it's really sweet. So at the 1 drop, we've got 4 Boris Elite, 4 Dryad Militant, 4 Soldier of the Pantheon. At 2, Precinct Captain, at 4 of them, 4 Daring Skyjack, 3 Imposing Sovereign. Then at 3, we've got 4 Banisher Priest. That's our creatures. Then we've got 4 Brave the Elements, 2 Boros Charm, 3 Ajani Call of the Pride, 2 Spear of Heliod, 4 Mutavault, 4 Sacred Foundry, 4 Temple of Triumph, and a bunch of planes. Making quick creatures, attacking really fast, killing your opponent stone dead with little white creatures. Where everyone else is doing things with Pack Rat, things with blue, Niklas has quite a different plan, but it's been a very effective one. It's taken him this far in the tournament, and now we're going to get a chance to see how this deck pairs up against the top deck in the metagame. I'm going to call it. It's the one that's just been dominating all weekend long. Mono blue, in this case piloted by Marcin Staciwa, he who was the last undefeated player in the Swiss of this tournament.
Mono blue has yet to win a GP. It won a PT in Dublin, but it has not won a GP yet. In the Santiago, Rakdos won. Rakdos, that's a deck that we haven't seen at all since then. Mono Black won in Albuquerque with Alwyn, Turtenwald.
Yep.
And the other one was in, what's this, the city? What GP was one?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, you're certainly right. I can't think of a big event since the Pro Tour that Mono Blue was
won by Mono Black as well.
Yeah. Here we see the brackets, just 4 players left. Robin Dolar there is playing Esper. He was the top finisher in the Swiss, up against Jeremy Dezani, who finished 4th. So Robin Dolar is going to get the option to go first there.
Louisville.
Yes, Kentucky. And then we have Kaltenböck against Staciwa. Now Staciwa was 2nd in the Swiss, so he's going to be able to go first in this matchup. But it's pretty much gone with seed thus far. So the 1, 2, 3 and 4th seeds all winning their matches, and now we get a chance to see whether or not that trend will continue. If it does, then it's likely that we're going to see Robin Dolar against Marcin Staciwa, but there's a reason that we don't just cut it off at the Swiss and give the trophy to whoever finishes best in the Swiss. There's still plenty more Magic to play, and we're about to kick off with the semi-finals here between Niklas Kaltenböck and Marcin Staciwa. Staciwa there, having a little look at his hand. Both decks pretty chock full of 1 drops. Cloudfin Raptor there from Staciwa, the 0-1 Evolver.
I'm actually surprised. We haven't seen a single game where it just went land, go, discard. It usually happens during tournaments, but we haven't seen that at all.
And Soldier of the Pantheon, this one of your top 20 cards in Standard. We've not seen loads of it this weekend, but still a very powerful card.
It deserved its slot.
2-1 for 1 that has protection from multicolored and gains you life whenever multicolored spells are cast. Can't do a whole lot about that Cloudfin Raptor coming in the air, but can quite happily trade with a Tidebinder Mage.
1-mana creature would trade for a 2-mana creature.
Gotta love that efficiency.
While Niklas is not relying on devotion with his creatures on the board, he relies on actual attackers.
Yeah.
With Boros Elite.
Yeah, he needs to get enough creatures on the board that he can make sure that his battalion triggers, for example.
So it's kind of devotion. Devotion to attacks.
Devotion to attacks, I like that. Kaltenböck having a bit of a think here after having made his attacks. He does have his 2nd land. It's always a worry. You never really want to see matches, especially this deep in the tournament, going down to
Precinct Captain.
Land issues. Precinct Captain, there we go. The 2-2 first striker for 2. So that's going to hold off Tidebinder Mage, at least for this turn. And when it hits opponents, you get 1/1 soldier tokens. So a great addition to Kaltenböck's board.
Thassa.
So not quite got the devotion for Thassa to be a 5/5, but even just making things unblockable is potentially going to be valuable in this matchup.
So Marcin is not going to trade this turn. It's very unlikely he trades this turn.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't even be a trade with the Soldier of the Pantheon.
Yeah.
He desperately wants to keep that devotion train going.
And he only has 2 cards left.
A little counter there on the top of Staciwa's deck, just to remind him to scry each turn. That, of course, the ability of Thassa, even when it's not a 5/5 creature, as is currently the case.
It's a lot of thinking from Niklas' side.
I mean, this is his biggest finish to date. He wants to make sure that he can push things as far as he can. The top 8 is untimed, but we do ask that the players respect reasonable pace of play. Just because it's untimed doesn't mean that an individual can't be deemed to be playing a bit too slowly. So he's gone with an untapped Sacred Foundry, dropping 16.
So probably thinking about playing Banisher Priest.
The top of his curve?
Yeah. Oh, Ajani.
Oh, wow.
That's
so Ajani immediately getting plenty of balls, making that Precinct Captain into a 3/3 and getting stuck right in.
So takes everything, get a token.
Now in future, if Ajani wants to give Precinct Captain double strike, it triggers every time it deals combat damage to a player, right? So you could get 2 tokens.
2 tokens, yeah.
And if Kaltenböck didn't draw many more lands for the rest of the game, he can cast everything in his deck at this point.
Both players taking a lot of time to think their options through. No 4th land on Marcin's side. Oh yes, he does have a land. Oh, he does have everything. I didn't see the island. That's island, Judge's Familiar, and Master of Waves. So Master of Waves for 5 tokens.
Which means that Thassa's turned on.
Thassa is activated. It can attack. Wow. Probably play Master of Waves. Attack with Thassa. Maybe everything but the Raptor.
Now how much do you send at Ajani here?
And Niklas on 16. Wow, that's...
I don't think it's an easy question to answer, and that's probably one of the key things that he was thinking about. So he's saying, you know what, let's just get Ajani off the board.
Well, he's going to block with a soldier, so... I think if he has to send something into Ajani, it would be probably the Raptor. But... See, if he attacked everything on Niklas, he would be almost dead. If he doesn't have an answer to Master of Waves, he's dead. Isn't he dead next turn? He can block. He can block with a soldier. He can block Thassa with a soldier. But if he doesn't, then that would be 7 damage. He would be on 9 and pretty much dead.
And it's not as if in the main deck Kaltenböck has loads of answers to Master of Waves, and he has Banisher Priest. But aside from that, I think he's basically just trying to race.
I think I would probably leave Dezani for now and just keep the Cloudfin Raptor just to block when it gives double strike. Like 5-5 and Master of Waves is just, if both survive, then the game is over in 2 turns. Now he's just taking away a pass that was probably going to make the game a little longer and make Niklas, give Niklas time to draw his Banisher Priest if he doesn't already have it.
Yeah.
If he has it, he's in bad shape anyway.
All of these thoughts, I'm sure, going through Kaltenböck's head as well. He needs to carefully sculpt out not just what he wants to do about blocking for this turn, but also for the future turns.
If he attacks now, that means he has to attack again next turn.
Yeah.
That's... I know, this is not a line I would have taken. And then Niklas is thinking, oh, should I block Tassa or not? Alright, blocking Tassa.
So dropping to 14 here.
Wait. So Tassa went to a Jenny and oh, I said it doesn't matter in the end. Alright.
Right, so Banisher Priest or no is the big question for this turn.
Alright. So I think both creatures went on a Jenny.
Yeah,
I'm not... Tassa went to a Jenny and the Mage on Niklas.
Quite possibly,
Either way, Niklas would have blocked Tassa.
Sure.
So... But in the case Niklas does not block Tassa and goes down to now, he's dead next turn. So gives him a chance to mess up and lose next turn.
And there's plenty of cards in Kaltenböck's hand. It's just a matter of, right now, I can't think of anything that's nearly as important as getting rid of that Master of Waves.
We're talking about the nut jaws of Mono Blue. Oh, look what happened.
Yeah, this is
Cloudfin Raptor.
pretty perfect, right?
High Banner Mage, Tassa.
Yeah, there's only been 4
Master
spells played
yeah.
by the Mono Blue deck. And
These cards are so powerful.
4 spells, and he's got, what, 10, 12, 14, 90. He's got 21 power on the board. And he can make much of it unblockable. Right, so we see a -2 activation and Precinct Captain coming in for the double attack, double strike attack. Staciwa, a quick block there.
So now with Gianni, he's just... 2 counters can be killed by a single token attacking.
That's a Soldier of the Pantheon.
Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything.
A Boros Elite. These are not the draws you're looking for.
So for 1 mana, he can have Brave the Element, and this does not do anything.
So there were no tokens there for the Precinct Captain because it was blocked. Even though First Strike killed off the Cloudfin Raptor, because there's no trample on the Precinct Captain, it never got to deal any damage to the opponent.
So the question now is, how many creatures do you send? Do you send all your team, or because you have to play with the fact that Niklas might have a Brave the Elements. So I think Tassa and Master of Waves should attack Niklas.
Yep.
And both unblockable. And maybe he could send. Maybe the Master could go to. A Jenny. Tassa go to Niklas. Both unblockable, and let's see how many tokens can go. 3, 4, 5. If it attacks with 5 tokens, all 5 tokens to him.
That seems fairly safe, I think.
And just keep the mage in the keep the mage back.
Yeah, I can work with that plan. Let's see what Staciwa has up his sleeve, though. Another Tidebinder mage.
Okay.
So Thassa wasn't active, but it looks like now Thassa is.
Right, because he was missing the Cloudfin Raptor. Right. So Master of Void is going to Dezani. Oh, that's right. He was missing.
There we go.
And all the horses to go. So all blocking. Let's see if there's a Brave the Element. Yes, of course.
Oh, there we go.
And then he shows
wrong one.
Something else.
That could have been awkward.
Brave the Element. Okay, kill 3 tokens. Everything survives on Niklas' side. Dezani's dead. Take 2.
Yeah, not quite the same as Boros Charm, which just gives your permanence indestructibility. It just gives your creatures protection, so Dezani not safe there from the attack.
It wouldn't have been safe anyway. It doesn't matter if it's indestructible.
Oh, because it just loses the loyalty,
Yeah.
and then at some point it's got no loyalty. Sorry, you got it.
Same with Elspeth, with the emblem.
Yeah.
If you have only one counter on Elspeth with the emblem, the indestructible, it would still die to
damage.
To damage, yes.
The other match still going on, still 0-0 between Esper and Mono Blue Control. That Jeremy Dezani and Robin Dolar. Realistically, I think we would always kind of assume that this match is going to be a little bit faster because the deck's a little bit more aggressive. Dezani is apparently applying the pressure with Mutavolts and a Biden of Thassa.
All right.
Nice little combo. So we might see if we can get those cards slid down a little bit so we can see everything, but there was definitely a... yeah, we got a Daring Skyjack just at the top of the screen and one more creature. In some respects, many of the creatures, if they're not Banisher Priest, kind of interchangeable. Dried Militant, a sort of a slightly less impactful version of Soldier of the Pantheon in this matchup.
Yeah, removing spells is pretty much irrelevant.
In the format.
In this format, yes.
Yeah.
Since a Desperate Shaman isn't the only thing that matters.
Diluvian Primordial. I think you'll find this.
Again, yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, actually relevant, because this guy is not exactly super relevant.
Staciwa here, having a little bit of a think.
So 8 life. So he has 6 blockers for 6 attackers.
And I've got my blue pen out to mark that the mono blue deck of Jeremy Dezani is now 1 game up against Esper from Robin Dolar.
I called Jeremy winning yesterday at run 8.
And by the way, we are holding that match so that
run 8.
after this game finishes, we'll be jumping across and we'll catch the whole of the next game against Robin Dolar.
So what's happening here? Is he attacking with he would be facing lethal with another Brave the Element.
But I mean, if there's another Brave the Elements, that's just...
On the attack back.
Yeah, so he needs to attack with... If he's going to attack, he might as well attack with enough that it forces some blocks.
Yeah, for sure. But he needs, that would be 3 and 3, 6. He needs to trade 3 creatures. No, actually 4 because the soldier is irrelevant. So he can just block. So Niklas can loot 3 creatures without any problem. So that would be Tasa and Master of Waves unblockable. And attack with 4 creatures. And if he attacks with 5, he will need to block all 5. It all depends on what he has left in hand. Tasa unblockable and Master of Waves unblockable. It's some pretty complicated math.
Yeah, I mean, basically you've got sort of a couple of lines. You've got to think about, well, if he's got Brave the Elements.
Yeah, even if he attacks everything, he's not winning the race because he would end up with only Tasa and nothing else, and Master of Waves.
And Tasa wouldn't be active.
Tasa wouldn't be active. Oh, actually, it would be good enough because then he would have Tasa and Master of Waves. He could attack with Master of Waves.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that it could be a little better.
So let's see, this way around. Ooh. He's not made anything unblockable.
He made Tasa unblockable.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's still losing to Brave the Element this way. Yes, he is. Take 7, go down to 1. Right. Yeah, he has 10 damage. Wait, now he doesn't even win on the attack back. Oh yes, he would be.
3, 6,
yeah,
8.
he would
He's got
be
exactly 10.
Yeah. No, wait, he's 10?
3, 6, 8.
There's
10.
so many cards that kill it. Well, he kept 2 mana up, so he has something else. Mutavault, okay.
Mutavault's pretty good against Brave the Elements.
Alright. Yeah, okay. So, gain 2 life. Oh.
Both those Soldier of the Pantheon, they're triggering off the Judge's Familiar being cast. What have we got?
Oh, he doesn't have it. Well, he didn't have it. He might have it.
And you could have Brave the Elements and Boros Charm.
Oh, that would be sick.
There are 2 Boros Charm in the main deck.
Alright, attack with the team. Can they block? Okay, so no Brave the Elements. Okay, so is Skyjack flying? No, it's not. Yes, it is. So this is devotion to attacks.
Devotion to attacks. So at present we got 5 damage coming through.
How does it work if he says no, you can't block because it's flying, even though he didn't say, he didn't mark the trigger? It would still be flying, right?
If he says, if at the point that he tries to declare, he goes, no, it's got flying, I think that's
that's
all right. Yeah. If they moved to damage and then he was suddenly like, oh wait, but my guy's flying, then he'd be like, no, sorry. You might be devoted to attacking, but just not devoted enough.
If you're protection to flyers.
And there we see.
Game. Wow.
That was very tense. There was a lot of permutations, even right at the end there, where even though initially it looked like it was just clearly for Staciwa, it wasn't quite that simple. And now we're jumping straight across to see, on the left of our screen, Robin Dolar playing Esper. On the right of our screen, Jeremy Dezani playing Mono Blue. The deck that, more or less the exact same deck that he won the Pro Tour with. Dezani already 1 game up, and this match just about to start. They're just looking at their opening hands. Hopefully no mulligans. Don't really like to see them in the top 8. Just nice, straightforward. Good draws against good draws and good play winning the match.
2 lands, including Temple. It's a very nice. Is that Demir Charm? Along with that Plains?
I quite like Demir Charm. It's not a card I had really thought about much before this tournament, but it's a type of removal spell that deals with many of the things that you really want to remove that are tricky otherwise. Nightvale Spectre doesn't fall to Doomblade, it doesn't fall to Ultimate Price, but it does die to Demir Charm. So a quick mulligan here from Robin Dolar. Looks like Dezani, number 13th ranked player on the Pro Player rankings. Pretty happy with his 7. Reasonably likely that Dezani's position is going to move as a result of this GP. Obviously there's also the GP going on in Toronto, and the fact that you're not playing this GP will also impact on the rankings overall, right?
I think someone is going to pass me. At least someone.
Those
one
little
person.
tinkers.
Well, when I'm not playing, I guess it's normal that people pass me.
There were 5 8 1s overnight from the top 25 and 1 0.
We've just heard that there's 5 8-1s and 1 9-0 over in Toronto that are within the top 25 player list. So I think it's reasonable to assume that at the end of this weekend there's going to be a few movements, and you'll hear about them midweek on dailymtg.com. Quick shuffle there from Dezani, and we get to see what Robin Dolar thinks of his 6. Oh. Well, he got lands.
And again, say.
That'll have to do.
And 2 Scry lands.
Scrying something straight to the bottom there. And the judge is familiar.
More lands, wow. Another Skyland.
So nothing he wants to gainsay on turn 2. Quite happy to wait for the bigger threats that come later.
Well, he cannot play it anyways.
Oh, because of the judge's familiar,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. Get the scries in while you can.
Jeremy does not have a second blue mana.
Which, given that he's got at least 1 Frostburn Weird in hand, is somewhat unfortunate.
Another Mutavault.
Pecking away at Dolar's life total there with his owl.
No play either. Wow.
Yeah. And this is unfortunately not him particularly taking the control route. It's just that with those Mutavaults, he's not quite as able to cast his best spells as he might like to. There's the island.
Second island.
Not quite on time, but still plenty of play left in this game. So Dezani here working out the right sequencing. Starts off with an attack. 17 life for Robin Dolar.
Anything he's playing is going to be countered. So what should he start with? Master of Waves.
Master of Waves.
This one is not going to be countered.
Just 'cause it doesn't do enough, and he's.
Oh no, he doesn't have the. Oh, sorry, that was the.
He has gainsay.
He doesn't have the Demir Charm. No, that was in the previous hand. Or maybe.
No, he
will
does
be
have
countered.
gainsay.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he will gainsay then. Yeah, I was getting confused with the Demir Charm in the other hand.
Yes, sorry about that. Couple of detention spheres here. Not really got the right target for it yet, but it looks like he has another gainsay. So able to sit back and see what happens. But gainsay also for Dezani now. He's morphed into a slightly more controlling deck after sideboarding.
If he knew Robin's hand, he would just attack with Mutavaults.
Yeah.
Into it's probably gonna meet Gensai.
I wonder how Andrew Cuneo felt when they reprinted Gainsay, that his username on Magic Online.
Oh yeah?
All of a sudden, very, very high-profile card, which it hasn't really been since Invasion Block.
And here comes the Sphinx Revelation. Not exactly super useful at the moment. Can only play it for 2. Use it for 2.
But only being pecked away for 1 a turn, he's got a bit of time.
Yeah. Well, there's still 2 mutables, so when he's gonna start moving, Jeremy does not have to do anything. What is that? Is that duress?
It's...
Oh, it's a pack rats.
Oh, wow. The face of this game just changed a little bit. And there it is.
Oh, wow.
So all of a sudden, Robin Dolar has an army and a card. Albeit an army of vermin.
Army of rats. If you play the Vampire the Eternal Struggle.
Oh wow, yeah.
Army of Rats was a card, a very good card.
Yeah, I remember
Animalism. Your prey loses 1.
that. Rats off 2, yeah.
Richard Garfield's game. Anyway, This is Magic. This is different.
It is, yeah.
So attacking for 3. Is it Jace? Yes, it is.
And that will resolve. There's nothing that Dolar has in hand to be able to stop it. And now Dezani, not just immediately going up or down on Devotion, having a little think about what the best play is there. He's sat there with a Gainsay in hand, but potentially not loads of things to use it on, because now Dolar could simply be on the pack rat plan.
That's right. Alright, +1. End of turn, make a dude. During my turn, play Tension Sphere on the weird. Attack Jace with 2 3/3s maybe?
It's definitely an option.
Huh. What to discard? Is he going for the rat plan, or does he want to... Like, what can he... If he discards the Sphinx Revelation, he's definitely going all in on his pack rat thing. On the pack rat plan.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the pack rat plan is that often, if you've not got something along the lines of Underworld Connections, you pretty much...
Like, all his cards would be useful. But
yeah, you got to do one or the other. Mm-hmm. A half-hearted pack rat plan is not really a plan at all.
Sphinx Revelation is not looking very good in this game. He would only be a bad divination. Like for 5 mana, draw 2 cards.
And there we go. Sphinx's Revelation does get discarded to pack rat.
Another land. Another rat.
Yep. So both these rats coming in, and it looks like they're both
taking Jace. Block, make a rat, make another rat. So all 4/4s. Frostbitten Weird survives. Oh. Did he attack him?
All 3/4s because of Jace's ability, right?
Yeah. Well, the attacking ones were 3/4.
Yes,
The other ones
sorry,
were
yeah. So a tense moment for Pro Tour winner Jeremy Dezani, suddenly facing down quite the force.
So next turn he will be facing 6/6/6 rats.
Yikes. I'm not sure how many rat tokens we have. It's not very often that we actually get this many in play at the same time. It just sort of all ends very fast at that point.
Oh, there's no Master of Waves. That's what he was looking for.
So yeah, it's...
But
Thassa is pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good.
An active Thassa is the best blocker for rats imaginable.
Yeah.
It's not going to die, and there's a very real chance that it will kill off one in the box.
So if you play Thassa this turn, yes, there's a pretty big chance he wins this game. So play Thassa, maybe make a mage unblockable, attack for 3, and then be lethal next turn. But Robin has another detention sphere in hand, so that might complicate things a little.
Yeah, I guess playing the rat plan when you have a few cards in hand and 6 lands gives you a lot of flexibility. We're kind of used to seeing it either on turn 2 or on turn 5. Turn 2 if you just want to get it in play fast, turn 5 if you want to be able to immediately make a rat. So yeah, there is one detention sphere left in Dolar's hand. That's his remaining card. He discarded the other one. But there is a gainsay in Dezani's hand, so...
That's right. So if he plays Thassa, does not make anything unblockable, attack with the bird, does he have lethal next turn? He would need 11, so that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, he would not be lethal next turn.
Already putting a counter on top of his deck before he's even cast his Thassa.
Well, actually, that might be the point that was missing. I would actually...
Just getting as many creatures on the board as he can here, leaving up gainsay. This might be something that he comes to regret. So that another land there for Robin Dolar. Land/rat, if you will.
Snyder play might be obvious. Because he would be attacking for lethal here with the rats. So Jeremy would need to jump block. And Jeremy's not lethal, and they attack back. Yeah, without if he hadn't played the mage, he would have won this game.
I think it's quite easy to fall into the trap of once you see someone doing the pack rat plan, you kind of forget the fact that they might cast spells that you want to stop.
Like without playing the mage, he could have attacked with Thassa, the 2 birds, and 3 unblockable creatures, including Thassa, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So he's playing Detention Sphere on the Thassa itself.
Oh, he would have missed. He would have needed another land, but that could have been easy with a Jace and a Scry. Rat attack. Quick. He can't play around the Master of Waves. I don't think he can play around anything.
And this frequently the way that we see the mono black decks going, the sort of pack rat versus mono blue, and it just becomes the race where you have to kind of hit and hope. The colours are a little different, the story's kind of the same.
It's an epic rat. Once you play the rat, you only play rats. It's a little similar.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
You commit your whole plan to the rats. The only spell you play until the end of the game is rat. Well, in this case,
sometimes it's double rat though.
Yeah, okay. So how many blockers here? So that's potentially 24 damage. So he needs to block with 2 creatures.
Is it not just a flat 20 if he makes one more rat?
Oh, yeah, only one rat. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I still had him when he had 6 mana. That's right, it's only 20. So I only had 1 rat to block.
Oh, someone in the back maybe just drifting a little bit. Suffice to say, Dezani fully focused here as another rat token comes into play.
Out of rats.
All out of rats.
All right, so here we go. Is there a Master of Waves?
Dezani's on 2. Pressure's on. What have we got on top?
And there is no Master of Waves here.
Yeah.
Well, he still has a few blockers. He will survive next turn. But can he win in the next in the next 2 turns? So he's 5 attackers and only 1. Probably split the creatures. The land doesn't matter.
I mean, the land might matter if he stays alive so he can Cyclonic Rift, right?
That's right. He has land in hand, so...
Oh, okay, fine. In that case, yeah, the land doesn't matter at all.
He can attack with just the bird this turn. Can he attack with more creatures? No.
I can imagine Jeremy Dezani watching this game back later and thinking, could I have been attacking with Mutavaults a little bit earlier? Because 11 damage is a lot harder than if he was looking to do, say, 7. And I think he probably could have got a few more points early.
Yeah, had he known Robin had another Tension Sphere, he might have played differently. He could have guessed it by the way he discarded earlier. Discarded a Sphinx Revelation and the Tension Sphere. That meant his other card was definitely very good. Since he already had the 6 land, it could not have been another land. So, but this is something like super hard to figure out. Check. The guy's discarding this, so it has to be a good card. Somewhere you say you're telling yourself, it has to be good, but probably not that good. Come on.
Yeah.
It can't be that good. But if you gather all the information you have, it becomes obvious it's actually an Tension Sphere.
So Dezani figuring out what he needs to do to stay alive really here. He's not quite looking at the win right now so much as sculpting for future turns. But every turn those rats becoming more numerous and more deadly.
So it's 5 creatures to block. So the bird is not blocking this turn. The bird is not attacking this turn.
Yeah.
So Robin probably drew a rat, a pack rat.
And actually, those are always the most horrible draws from the mono black deck. The turns where it gets to cast another pack rat, so it effectively gets one on a discount.
Guess
Here
what?
they come.
Quick.
Robin Dolar briefly looks at his hand there as if the text on the other side of that card is particularly important here.
All right. Yep.
I'll block everything, because if I don't, I'm stony dead.
Like, would Master of Waves do anything here? I don't even think it does.
And it makes 5 guys. 6 guys.
6 guys. They would most likely die. It's another...
Yep.
Okay,
So this match squared up at 1-1.
Wow.
Robin Dolar's pack rat plan in game 2 proving just good enough. It was pretty close for a while there, but
when you finish this kind of game, you're like, oh, did I miss it somewhere? When your opponent is on 1 or 2, but in this case he was very close from losing.
absolutely, yeah. So we've jumped back across to our other match now. So this being Marcin Staciwa against Niklas Kaltenböck, and still in game 2. So we've not missed the end of any game here. We'll find out the live totals very shortly, because they're going to be super relevant in this kind of a race.
Oh yeah. 8-12.
So here we see why it is that Staciwa keen on looking for some blocks.
What's under the priest? Do we know?
We might try and just find out what the priest has banished.
Maybe nothing. Probably banished like a raptor that turned into a frog.
That seems entirely likely.
That's my bet.
A frog which now looks to be trading with a Boris Elite there. Three damage on Staciwa, and he gets a new, Kaltenböck gets a new token for having dealt damage to his opponent there. Tap Sacred Foundry, just 1 card left in hand.
It's 5 power of flying creatures.
Yeah, it's not going to take much for Staciwa to finish this match off at this point.
So, question is, should he attack with more than just the Spectre? Should the Raptor join?
And it's
Probably.
Yeah, it's a really close race, this one. And Kaltenböck does have a little bit of reach in his deck. He's got, in the main deck he's got Boros Charm. After boarding he's got Electrickery, which is perfectly fine at dealing with elemental tokens, right? He's got more Boros Charm in the sideboard that he can bring in.
I'm not sure this is the matchup you actually want more than 2 Boros Charms.
Quite possibly not.
Okay, Master of Waves is holding the fort. Or not.
He's thinking about it.
We just trade for a token. Psychosis. Yeah. Niklas is not heavily ether on the board.
And a Banisher Priest off the top. Happy that Kaltenböck hasn't drawn that, but at the same time...
It's a lot of blue mana.
Yeah.
That's 5 blue mana. Tie better mages, go.
Well, that's a lot of blockers.
And that's
And there's the
game.
handshake. We can hear the applause from the feature match area as Marcin Staciwa wins his semi-final 2-0. He will be playing in the finals of Grand Prix Vienna against the winner of the deciding game between Jeremy Dezani and Robin Dolar. We'll be jumping across to that match very
So
shortly.
mono blue.
Hey look, we didn't miss anything.
Sweet, I think they waited for us.
That's terribly good of them. And actually, we're here just in time to see a little bit of mulligan shuffling from Robin Dolar. As much as Dezani, I'm sure, wants to get stuck into this game, I'm sure he doesn't mind too much, seeing that his opponent is going to be starting on.
I'm sure he minds a lot. Like, oh no, please, let's play a fair game. Just take 7 again. I don't mind. I'm not gonna play land. Just go ahead, draw, and let me play. More shuffling before the last game of the semifinals.
Yeah, so for one of these players, this is the last game of their tournament. A pretty successful tournament for whoever gets knocked out here, but whoever does get knocked out here won't help but be able to think about how close they came to being able to hoist a trophy, because if you become the finalist, you get a trophy. It's not quite as big, it's not quite as tall, but
when you lose in the semi, you get nothing.
Yeah, you
get no trophy. Trophy is the most important thing.
Love a trophy. Where do your trophies live, Raf?
They live at home. Some of them are at my father's office.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So Dolar here looking at his 6. Doesn't look super happy.
If happy at all.
Oh. Could this be 5?
Is that a needle? Yeah. Needle, the mirror charm.
Detention sphere, hero's downfall.
Is that a Jace? Maybe
I think it might be a Jace, but there's not.
Is it a what?
It's got 1 land. It's a scry land, but
that's.
This hand needs a little help.
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh,
he wanted to land right away.
It's going straight to the bottom. This could be an inauspicious end for Robin Dolar here. Judges familiar coming straight on through, but no second turn play for Jeremy Dezani.
The land, that's a scry land.
Temple of Silence, so
that's pretty much what he wants.
We got a game on our hands now.
No
another one going to the bottom. If he manages to scry his way to getting 3 lands on turn 3, then we might have something. But we've been talking the whole time about how control decks want to hit all of their land drops.
Jeremy does not have a 3rd land.
Oh, wow.
So if he hits the land, he can actually play Detention Sphere on the birds. Is that a land?
That is a land. It's a Hallowed Fountain as well, so he can play it untapped at the cost of a couple of life, but I'm sure he won't mind too much about that.
This is crazy. Now he's back in the game. He has all the mana he wants against Jeremy, who does not have a 3rd land.
Thinking about games that Jeremy Dezani might watch back again later, like, I wouldn't want to know.
Of course you want to know.
If my opponent had, I wouldn't want to know my opponent had kept a 1-land hand and got to the lands they needed right on time.
Well, he had 2 scry lands.
Yeah.
So this you definitely played Detention Sphere here. Like with so many spells in hand.
Wow.
Like he cannot sacrifice the birds to counter the Detention Sphere.
Nope.
So both are gone.
Detention Sphere is just instants or sorceries.
Yeah.
No good on planeswalkers, no good on enchantments, creatures, anything like that.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Well, it looks like the patience of Robin Dolar may have paid off.
That's crazy.
I mean, there's a Dimir charm by the looks of things in hand, so he's thinking about. I mean, there's not.
No, what is he doing?
Yeah, like.
Or maybe on himself to get a land. No, you have to Detention Sphere here.
He's drawn another Detention Sphere. Surely one of these 2 is now good enough. Oof.
Wow, that's just as rude. Oh.
And Dezani drew the negate 1 turn too late.
That's very painful. It's very painful to watch. So that's a Jace under the Pithing Needle?
Yes, it is, yeah. And it looks like Dolar has a 4th land now.
And it's a Jace that's going to meet against Sayara negate. No, nothing? Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, we see a little shake of the head there from Dezani. Not the draws he was looking for.
Oh, wow. Thoughtseizes. Yeah.
Thoughtseizes, yeah, it'll give
No.
Dolar full information on what's going on.
I don't think playing it now. You don't need to play it now. If you can if you want, but okay. Never mind.
We get a proper look at Dezani's hand now. Oh, or not. There's the negate.
That's probably the best thing that Thoughtseize could do. It would probably have taken the negate.
There's the land. Come on now, let's have a real game of Magic. That's what we came here for. And there's a Night Veil Spectre.
So what do I kill it with?
Dimir Charm. Dezani has a little bit of a second look, but we know that Pierre Dargent was playing one of them in his deck, so I'm sure Dezani well aware of that interaction there.
That's the Jace.
Here it
Jeremy
is.
stepped out.
Another Jace, Pack Rat, and the land. So it's Pack Rat or nothing. Don't want to give any extra food to go with the Pack Rat. If you leave things lying around, it'll just eat them and mean you get a bigger rat problem.
I think I would go for the land, and unless he only has one Pack Rat to win, but one man another land.
Right, so here another Night Veil Spectre. And I did see a Master of Waves in Dezani's hand, so or maybe a couple even. So if he can get to 4 lands, maybe we can begin to get something going here. So, cashing in Jace.
At some point he's going to be drawing all lands for sure.
You might want to take the land here, because that means up to 5 and you can do the Pack Rat plan pretty effectively.
Yeah. He might want might want to kill the Spectre first before going too deep into the Pack Rat plan. So land untapped. We can also do both, like play the rat and kill the... But he would need to do it right away, I guess. To mean another negate.
There's the Pack Rat.
Or dissolve. And I guess it's fine if... I don't think Jeremy kept his rapid hybridization. So the Pack Rat is safe for now.
Dezani here, still not with his 4th land, casting a Frostbone Wood and then passing the turn. Sick land would have been kind of nice here to really get things going on the rats, but there's plenty of time here, I think.
Yeah. He's not under any pressure. So he says go. Here comes the 4th land. Master of Waves.
Master of Waves seems likely not to stay on the board for all too long.
Okay, he says.
Jeremy goes through all of the trouble to find those tokens, and let's see what Dolar's response is.
Yeah, drawing 2 cards seems fine. He's going to be drawing the lands eventually. Here we go.
Bingo.
It's going to take a while. If Jeremy has to win this game, we've seen him coming back from hell, but Robin has a lot of removal in hand. And he would need some Thassa and Mutavaults to win.
Yeah.
for now he has other problems.
So Master of Waves gets hit by Hero's Downfall. That deals with both the Master and all the elemental tokens. And Dolar just ready at some point to break out the rats.
So here comes the Master of Waves number 2. Yes.
That one also resolving, and it may face a slightly different fate, but...
Discard Supreme Verdict, yeah. So... Detention Sphere in this one. Well, he has another Sphinx Revelation.
There's the D-Sphere.
Attack with both rats.
At some point, if there's a big Cyclonic Rift, then an awful lot of things coming back for Dezani, but I don't know if he's going to get the time to do that.
Probably makes a rat, right? No? No rats. Okay. He was going to make it anyways. Alright, no rats.
I guess keeping mana up, he just wants to make sure that he's safe against things, and like the extra point, not super relevant.
He doesn't have a counter spell anyway, so. But what can possibly happen? What's the card he's playing around?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the best that Dezani could be doing would be like double Cyclonic Rift. But even then, the rat just comes back, I guess.
Yeah. Like with double Cyclonic Rift.
Oh yeah, and then he just plays another one, yeah.
No, he would do it on the detention sphere of that keeps the
Master Waves, and
Master
then he's got
Waves,
loads of blocks, yeah.
Well, loads for like a turn. A lot of thinking. Get out of this very, very bad situation. Jace Memory Adept.
Not convinced. I mean,
Sure.
yes, it's an answer, but not to a question that at this point Dolar's really asking.
Gonna meal me for 10, maybe. Your best shot.
And with a Pithing Needle in hand, we know that Jace is not going to do as much as Dezani might want.
Okay, drawing a card and milling. Land. Drawing another 4. Oh, drawing a Dispel. Dispel doesn't do anything right now. It's got a Supreme Verdict. Getting another rat.
Doomblade's a relevant draw.
Yeah. I think he's just attacking Jeremy with all the rats and pumping them.
And that certainly works.
Just Memory Adept. Doesn't care. Doesn't do anything.
Dezani thinking it through, but realistically, the only question he's got is his one creature blocking? And if not now, then when?
If ever.
And I guess that he's facing lethal, isn't he?
He's, no, he's not.
Oh yeah, sorry, the maximum gets 15 through, isn't it?
Yeah. But the question is how How does he plan to win? Like, his only out would be to play Psychonic Rift
Yeah.
overloaded. But there's no way he does that. He does not have the Psychonic Rift. He does not have the 7 lands. And he will most likely die next turn.
And he has a Master of Waves that can make some more blockers. But yeah, a lot of things need to go right.
But Robin has a Doomblade, so... So which one don't I want? The Needle, the Sphinx Revelation?
Could this be the second discarded Sphinx's Revelation we've seen?
Yeah, who needs that? Who needs that card?
Discarding Pithing Needle for the Robins when there's a Jace in play.
You know, I could play...
I could play this thing that dominates your Planeswalker.
I could play my land and my Pithing Needle, but I just get some more rats.
Dezani on 3.
Draw a card. That's another land. That's a lot of rats he has to block next turn. So we can play Master of Waves to block most of the rats. Play the spell on the Doomblade. But the Detention Sphere is gonna do the rest. And still, it's far from over.
Absolutely. So Robin Dolar here, starting with the Detention Sphere. That one isn't going to be able to be stopped by Dispel. And there's the handshake.
Smash. Wow.
Robin Dolar and his Esper deck takes out Pro Tour winner Jeremy Dezani, and he's advancing to the final where he will be playing against Marcin Staciwa of Poland. Another mono blue match, but we've already seen that he's got a plan for mono blue, and a pretty effective one.